Knuckle and Shoot, two characters within the Hunter x Hunter world where I've grown to like, both as individuals and as a team as far as their characters are concerned. What is good, YouTube? This is Vortex. I'm back with another Hunter x Hunter discussion video here. As always, guys, these discussion videos will be every weekend, roughly Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, more so pushing for Fridays and Saturdays, and also for the most part, 2 videos per each weekend, unless I decide to change my schedule and just push these out random to you. But as far as that's concerned, that is not the plan right now. But with that, guys, we're going to jump right into this discussion video on my homies, Knuckle and Shoot. First impressions of Knuckle, guys, is just, he comes off as a very confident person, a very confident character, in himself, in his ability, in his fighting. He kind of views himself kind of in a sense as saying like, I'm better than you. Again, first impressions, when you first meet him, when you first come across him as a person in the show. At first, this was my initial thoughts of Knuckle when we first came in contact with him in the show, with you know between him and Gon and Kaluuya's interactions. That was my initial first impressions, is that he's a very confident character and he believes in himself and his abilities to get the job done. He's just very, very confident. But then you figure that he has compassion and sympathy per this image here with the dog. You kind of find out that he has a weakness. To me, this is a strength, but to the enemies that he comes across, this is pretty much this is a weakness. Again, to me, this is a strength where he's caring, he's compassionate, he has sympathy in his heart. You know, he really just wants to help people. That's his initial, his basic human side of him, where he's just a caring person. Again, to me, that is a strength. But again, like I said, to enemies that he come across, that pretty much is a weakness. But it is what it is. And per his ability, as far as using APR to basically kind of like in a sense, for the most part, when fighting somebody either equal to or less powerful than him, Knuckle has the ability to kind of like suppress his opponent's abilities to where they can't really harm him. I mean, again, we find out later when he's fighting Yuppie, that APR is pretty much null and void for the most part. That initially when we first get introduced to APR, in episode 90, excuse me, in episode 90, we kind of found out that, oh man, you know Knuckle he's definitely not somebody to second guess. He kind of has some tricks up his sleeve. But again, him having the compassionate side, again, because he's first being introduced as this very tough guy, but technically he wears his emotions on his sleeves, that he uh, can be taken advantage of if the opportunity came to be. All in all, guys, Knuckle, I love his character. I love his attitude. I do love his confidence. Even though, like I said, even though he shows signs of confidence and strength, um, you know, him wearing his emotions on his sleeves, like I said, the enemies can take advantage of that. work, make that side of his, his uh, that side of his character to their advantage, um, and they can, like I said, they can kind of make his ability to use APR on them kind of nullable. Like I said, in his fight against UP, that it just, APR is was pretty much useless in that fight. But all in all, he just was a great and fun character to watch up to this point in the show. But uh, not done with the show yet. I'm not fully done with the episodes yet. I pretty much have to see what happens in episode 128 this coming Monday, and see what happens next with with Knuckle and Shoot and all these other characters. And one more thing, guys, I just want to kind of get clarification. Knuckles' ability, is it suppressing one's it's suppressing one's Nen powers, right? It doesn't, it like neutralizes it. It doesn't take it away, because in his fight with Gon, they were kind of like at an even footing as far as their fight was concerned. So there wasn't really no real true damage being done between the two for the most part. I mean, for the most part. But I just need clarification, because I know I said that it suppresses their, it suppresses his opponent's Nen powers. But am I right about that, or am I wrong? You can definitely let me know in the comment section that giving me that information. And now moving on to the homie Shoot. Shoot, once again, first impressions when we first meet him, and he's basically kind of like stalking Gon and Kahlua, kind of just like in the background, trying to be as stealthy as possible. He's, first impressions, he too seemed, like a very dangerous character. But then also, too, when you got to know his character a little bit more, you found out that he's, he could be like more like a quiet, very quiet character. Not, doesn't have some, too many, doesn't use too many words. Kind of lets his action speaks for himself. And like I said, he showed, signs of being somebody who you just didn't really want to mess with when you, again, when you first laid eyes on Shoot. You kind of just were just like, oh man, he definitely seems like a very dangerous cat. That's what he seemed like. But then, afterwards, you find out that Shoot is basically a scaredy cat. He avoids confrontation. He stays to himself. But he more so is basically a scaredy cat. He fears for his life in the midst of trying to, basically start a fight. He just can't do it. It's more so you would have to initially start the fight with him. He kind of just he's more so neutral. But when it comes to actually going into battle and actually doing something, he more so is very, very fearful. I mean, Knuckle kind of is as well. But Shoot is definitely more of the fearful out of the two. Again, which is totally fine. I mean, that's his personality. That's who Shoot is. But he just, he kind of just wants to just stay to himself, which I agree. I'm like, don't bother me. I won't bother you. And with Shoot's ability, well, his Nen abilities to be able to conjure up these three, well, basically two extra hands on top of, his, I would believe that one of those hands is an actual regular hand. That, he uses, this attack called Hotel Rafflesia, I believe that's how you pronounce it, where he can exploit people's weaknesses when he's attacking, but also with the fact that he can also be in a defensive mode too, with this type of nin skill. um, it's just dope that he can do this, because like I said, guys, he's more like a neutral fighter. Don't bother me, I won't bother you, but if need be, he will um, use his nen abilities to be able to actually fight and defend himself, because I just kind of feel like between him and Knuckle, like Shoot kind of has, the better skill set. But that's just my opinion. I just, like I said, because I just feel like Shoot he can definitely attack when he really really has to, but he can mostly, because he's a very fearful person, that his defense, like his defensive skill sets are very strong, very high. Um, so we pretty much found that information out in his fight against Yuppie. Before technically kind of getting dropped, but at the same time, his Nen abilities are, to me, are a little bit better than Knuckles. But again, him and Knuckles still have similar traits, because like I said, they both are fearful. It's just that Shoot is more fearful of fighting than Knuckle is. Knuckle will stand up, he will fight. I mean, technically they both will, but Shoot will avoid fighting way more than Knuckle would, in my opinion. Um, but all in all, um, you know, Shoot is a very fun character, just like Knuckle is. And so all in all, guys, I really love these two characters very, very much. I really, really enjoyed their characters in the moments that they showed up. Um, I definitely enjoyed the characters in the fight with Yuppie. As we were moving forward in the rest of this arc, that I'm hoping that they are able to get more screen time with Knuckle and Shoot, just to see what happens next. 'Cause I kind of want to see if Knuckle is able to still be by Shoot's side and help him as he recuperates from his injuries with Yuppie. Because again, I'm preparing to watch episode 128 this weekend to find out what happened, so that I can be able to push that out to you all on Monday. Because every Monday is Hunter x Hunter Monday. So with my reactions of each of the you know episodes moving forward. And as always, guys, just letting you all know, for those who don't know, for those who've been following my channel with Hunter x Hunter is concerned, I'm only pushing out one episode, one reaction episode per Monday, each Monday, every Monday. So just be on the lookout for those, as we're closing in on the last 20 plus episodes left in the show, so that we're not ending it so fast, since I was pushing out 2 episodes per per each Monday when I first started the show. But yeah, guys, loving Hunter x Hunter every single time that I watch the next episode. And like I said, I can't wait to see what happens in episode 128. So just be on the lookout for that video on Monday. But all in all, guys, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, love these two characters, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next with these two characters. And I definitely hope that they don't change, because their personalities, who they are, definitely fits them, and they should stay that way. But what did you all think? What do you all think? What do you all think about this discussion video? Let me know your thoughts. Let's have a chat. What do you all think of Knuckle and Shoot, the team, and individually? Let's have a chat in the comment section, guys, and I will chat with you all in the next discussion video of Hunter x Hunter. Peace, guys.